It's come down to two aspects, viewers. The Prime Minister taking the battle in Bihar head on was in Bihar this afternoon. And the line of contention the same, Ghuspetiye, infiltrators, all when in the backdrop of the Vote Adhikar rally of Rahul Gandhi and Tejashwi, where they are outrightly rejecting the Election Commission exercise of the Special Intensive Role Revision, which ultimately, as per the BJP, is engineered to get rid of infiltrators. All right, so battle lines drawn in Bihar. We're going to cut across to our panelists as well. Siddharth Yadav, national spokesperson on BJP. Mahima Singh, national spokesperson, Congress. Ajit Kumar Jha, senior journalist and political analyst. Before we begin with our political analysts and spokespersons, I want to bring in Ajit Kumar Jha on how he reads the current situation in the current context, Ajit Jha, of infiltrators, and the SIR exercise.
Let me begin by saying that Rahul Gandhi has taken the advantage by going to the people with his, 16 days, 1,300 kilometers Vote Adhikar rally. And he's actually moving around all the way from Sasaram. He's going to go around the state up to Darbhanga and then come down to Patna, almost covering 25 districts. So if you compare that to 2020, the last election, Rahul Gandhi was almost absent during the election. So he's taken the advantage. But Prime Minister, in his typical style, when he begins from Gaya Ji, as he called it, by the way, I was also not aware that Gaya has got a new name, Gaya Ji. When he began his bhashan, what appeals to the people, the first three lines when he spoke, it was in typical Magihi. And that's the language of that area. So obviously you saw people sort of, clapping and thrilled with that. Number one. And number two, he talked at length about development, about corruption by the RJD without naming Lalu Prasad Yadav. And then I think the two issues that he talked about, this PMCM bill, and the way he put it, that, obviously referring to Rahul Gandhi and Tejashwi, when he talked about the fact that those on bail and others are basically going to face the consequences, that I think resonated with the audience much more. And then this issue of Ghuspetiye. Now, this Ghuspetiye issue is obviously in some ways through the back door, a sort of what I would call, in the nationalist, let's say, framework, it brings back the issue of minorities versus majority. And to what extent will majority voters get affected by that, especially the Dalit, the OBC, and the MBC, is a question we will see as the campaign picks up.
Okay. All right. I'm going to come right back, Mr. Jha. I just want to also quickly, let's nat up on that. This is a rally in Bhagalpur where you have Rahul Gandhi and Tejashwi speaking. Let's quickly dip in for about 30 seconds.
तो आज जब मैं यात्रा पे निकला, मुझे रास्ते पे अमरनाथ अग्निवीर मिले। जरा खड़े होना है अमरनाथ। ये देखिए, ये अमरनाथ है, ये अग्निवीर था, ठीक है। अब मैं अच्छा ठहर जाओ, मगर ये मैं
All right, so Rahul Gandhi and Tejashwi, their vote yatra, Adhikar yatra has reached Bhagalpur. But I want to quickly cut across to our BJP spokesperson, Siddharth Yadav, who's joining us. Siddharth Yadav, one thing is at least very clear, that the battle lines are drawn where Bihar is concerned. The backdrop will be SIR. It will be, the talk, the narrative, the poll plank centered around Ghuspetiye infiltrators, at least from the BJP side. That's what it seems. Of course, with that added layer of development and what the governance of NDA will bring to Bihar.
No, Preeti, I do not agree with that statement. The Bharatiya Janata Party has not set the background of this election to SIR. It is Rahul Gandhi, the Congress Party, the RJD, Tejaswi Yadav, and all of them choosing. And rather, I would say such an unfortunate moment for them that they have been in opposition for so many years, but they choose this only one issue to be their prime issue after the NDA has delivered so many years of good governance. One can imagine what Bihar was going through and the kind of development that Bihar has seen over the past years. And it is also proven by the fact that when Rahul Gandhi, Tejaswi Yadav takes to the roads, they have nothing else than a propaganda of vote chori, vote ka adhikar, vote ki yatra. No other issue that they can point out that the government, which has been serving the people from past 15 years, has not been able to deliver what they were promising. We have a very clear agenda. We are here for the public. We took out Bihar from Jungle Raj. We took out Bihar and took it to the road of development. We have done to Bihar what Tejaswi Yadav and his family, the Congress party and the family, the first family, always hated to do with Bihar. We have seen what Congress party feels about Bihar and Biharis. I remember the statement of Charanjit Singh Channi when he says, "हम बिहारियों को अपने स्टेट में नहीं घुसने देंगे." I recall the statement of their another chief minister Revant Singh Reddy who says, तेलंगाना का डीएनए बिहार के डीएनए से बेहतर है. When this is the pretext of the opposition parties, when this is what their goal about the state is, when all they want is whatever we do, however we do, get us into power so that we can save our corruption, we can save our face saving, we can do whatever we like and bring back the jungle raj again. This is not going to happen in Bihar. The people of Bihar are very Samajdar, people of Bihar are very smart. They are going to vote for development, and this propaganda all around votes and their vote adhikar yatra is going to fall down like anything.
Mahima, I'm going to get you in. The fact is the Mahagathbandhan putting all its eggs in the anti-SIR basket?
Jai Hind. Preeti, I want to begin with Wasim Barelvi's words. ज़मीं की कैसी वकालत हो फिर नहीं चलती जब आसमां से कोई फैसला उतरता है. The BJP is visibly rattled today because the Supreme Court has pronounced yet another order. Another will come on September the 8th. But today what has come out, Preeti, has tightened the news on the SIR and on BJP's malified intentions. In fact, I would say the Supreme Court has laid bare for all of us to see the BJP is the NDA's malified intentions. The BJP is Mr. Modi's crooked plans for everybody to see. I would rather agree with the BJP spokesperson for a change when he says BJP की बिहार की जो जनता है बहुत समझदार है. बिल्कुल, बिहार की जनता बहुत समझदार है. They are such wise people, and you know they may tolerate unemployment, which has skyrocketed in the past so many years of the NDA's rule. They may tolerate inflation. They may have been tolerating crime against women. They may have been tolerating floods, which is still ongoing. But they will not tolerate vote chori. And when you ask me, Preeti, that are we putting all our eggs in one basket? I would rather say that at the moment, the nucleus of politics in this country is rather the sabotage of vote, which has been inflicted upon all of us by the BJP in collusion with the Election Commission of India, which we have seen. You call the BJP vote chore and the Election Commission of India comes to the rescue. I want to highlight, as I conclude my opening remarks, the 5 points which the Supreme Court has actually brought out today. Aadhaar will be accepted. BLO's arbitrary categorization of recommended, not recommended is going to be nullified. Every voter will get acknowledgement for documents submitted. Aggrieved persons can now file online forms, Preeti. And political parties have been made a part of the whole process, which the BJP and the NDA and the Election Commission of India.
Okay, ma'am, your time is up. I want to get in Ajit Jha back into this conversation. Ajit Jha, the fact is, whatever was supposed to be the poll narrative of the Bihar elections has completely turned on its head. And at least for now, it seems it's going to be a direct fight on what is the Ghuspetiye poll plank versus the anti-SIR rallies that you see and the war cry of the Mahagathbandhan.
Yes, Preeti, I agree. I think the Congress and the Mahagathbandhan is taking a certain risk. The risk is that the moment you focus the election too much on the SIR and not talk about the issues that people are affected, especially no jobs, which was resounding before the SIR exercise began, or the out-migration of the youth. I think they are moving away from that agenda, which according to me, which would pay them more dividends with the youth and overall.
It did the last time around.
Say that once more, Preeti, sorry.
Ajit Jha, what I was saying was it did the last time around. I'm going to just give you an extension of time there, but it did the last time around. The last time around, the possibility of Tejaswi getting so close was primarily because of the campaign that he ran on jobs.
True, I agree, yeah. See, jobs have always been the number one issue all over the country, but in a state like Bihar, much more, because there is no industrialization. And remember, 20 years of anti-incumbency. After all, when the Prime Minister focuses on development issues, someone can turn around and say, for the last 20 years, what have you actually done? Bihar is still at the bottom of the heap. Why did not you give a special package? In fact, Prashant Kishore reminds the audience every day how the Prime Minister is creating roads, taking away Bihari youth to go and work in Gujarat. And this issue that Tejaswi Yadav mentioned, Gujarati outsiders, remember Bihari versus Bahari. So these issues, perhaps, I think the Mahagathbandhan should focus more on rather than only SIR, because the moment you bring SIR, the answer is Ghuspaiti. And Ghuspaiti has it has a nationalistic ring about it, but the understatement, or rather, the under voice of it is, a sectarian division between minorities and majority. And that, I don't know if it will prevail upon the voters, but the attempt by Rahul Gandhi is, obviously, he keeps bringing the constitution back, like in 2024 Lok Sabha, and is talking about a Dalit OBC minority alliance. Whether it will work on the ground or not, we have to see. But there is a certain risk in overstressing the SIR issue.
Well,
Preeti.
there is a certain risk of overstressing the SIR issue. And Mr. Yadav, that could actually work for your political party, because then whatever the anti-incumbency that was attached possibly to your governance in the state of Bihar completely gets eclipsed in this very, very polarizing battle.
No, Preeti, fortunately, we as an organization, as a political party, do not rely on the flaws of the opposition. The opposition is living in a bubble. We are doing our work. It is for them to pop their bubble, come out of that. They think the entire nucleus is a vote campaign, vote adhikar. They are free to do whatever they feel like. The people are very distant from what the opposition says, what the opposition feels. Had the opposition been capable of understanding the pulse of the people, understanding what the people really feel and want, I think things would have been very different. When it comes down to the NDA, to Bharatiya Janata Party, we are a very different political party which has very grassroots penetration, which works for the people, understand the people's aspirations and work for them. We are one party which are going to fight this election on the work that we have done. 1.5 crore households have been electrified in the NDA regime. What Bihar was, how many riots used to happen in Bihar, what kind of law and order situation was there in Bihar, what kind of gundagardi was there in Bihar, is all gone away. Today, Bihar is a very different state of what it used to be under in the Jungle Raj. We have defeated poverty in the country, but the maximum beneficiary, almost 3.75 crore people who have come out of poverty, come from Bihar. Now, these are few things that people feel. It is an impact on their lives. It is what has impacted their day-to-day routine, and this is what people vote for. Now, Rahul Gandhi, the Tejaswi Yadav, all these parties who live in a bubble, who think, oh, we are above law, we are the great people who can say what to us, we will do a yatra, we will do a campaign, we will raise whatever issue we like. They do not resonate with what people think. They are doing what they are doing. They are targeting and hampering the democratic feather of this country. They are targeting the constitutional bodies for their own electronic gains, the electoral gains. But the people know that it is the frustration of multiple defeats, frustration of no vision that is making them do so. The NDA is confident on winning on merits on the development that we have done.
All right, Mahima Singh, with what Ajit Jha was speaking of, taking off from there, it does seem that you are risking way too much by constantly, at least, you can fight the battle of vote adhikar on the sidelines, but not speaking of the issues that really matter to the youth of Bihar could be problematic. Primarily, if you hark back to the last elections, what made the Gathbandhan and RJD do as well as it did, it came from the fact that Tejaswi was uninterrupted when it went down to asking for jobs and promising jobs. He understood that was a raw nerve where the youth of Bihar was concerned. He tapped into it and it paid rich political dividends. This time around, not cashing in on what possibly is high anti-incumbency and speaking constantly only about the SIR, are you risking a lot politically?
Preeti, we saw the NDA's take towards migrant laborers during COVID. We saw the stances that this topsy-turvy government, which kept on, toppling here and there through these last 5 years, and we saw shifting stances of Mr. Nitish Kumar over these last 5 years. In spite of that, I would rather say, Preeti, it is the BJP government that must worry today. And it is rather for our country also to worry today. I'll tell you why. Because a press statement was issued by the interim government of Bangladesh. I remind you of that moment the last year when Sheikh Hasina landed unannounced, unplanned in our country because there was a hasty emergency-like situation in Bangladesh and the people had taken to the streets. Now, it's been 1 year and she's still here. I am talking about the Ghuspaitiye Jibe, and I'm talking about why it is so important to do what we are doing on the streets of Bihar today, because Sheikh Hasina continues to be here. Press statement by interim government of Bangladesh says that Awami League, Sheikh Hasina's party, is opening offices in India. And this is a statement issued by Mr. Randhir Jaiswal, who says that the government of India is not aware of any anti-Bangladesh activities. So this is a not aware government. This is an unaware government, which had not the slightest of the idea when the last year instance happened, which doesn't have the slightest of idea now what is happening across the country. When our leaders, Tejaswi Yadav, Shri Rahul Gandhi, along with the Tejaswi Yadav, along with the LOP on the streets of Bihar, when they are contacting and communicating with hundreds of lakhs of people every day, Preeti, do you think we are only talking about SIR? I think the BJP has much to worry because we are right there on the streets. Their Ghuspaitiya Jibe, we know what happened to that in Jharkhand. When Himanta Biswa Sarma went to Jharkhand and sent Ghuspaitiye, Jharkhand is still with India. But NDA is set to lose.
All right, ma'am, your time is up. I'm going to give all three of you just 2 minutes each. Ajit Kumar Jha, the fact is, especially before an election, the run-up to it is crucial for all political parties, be it the opposition or incumbent. To peak too early, to not peak at the right time is something that has been debated ad nauseum in newsrooms. How do you see things go ahead for both the Mahagathbandhan and the NDA?
See, Preeti, all over the world, that political party wins the election most of the time, which defines the agenda of the election. So it would have been better, according to me, of course, I'm sure the Congress would differ with me, to define the agenda of the election in terms of massive unemployment in Bihar, because that appeals to voters directly. And this is after 20 years of Nitish Kumar government. And the migration issue. In fact, that way Prashant Kishore, he might be an X factor, but he defines the agenda very well. Bringing in the SIR gives the, of course, Rahul Gandhi has defined the agenda initially, but he ended up defining it in terms of Karnataka much more than in terms of Bihar. And the thing about it is, the risk here is that the BJP sort of plays the Ghuspaiti issue opposite of the SIR issue. So there is a massive risk, I still feel. I think the Congress would be much better off if they stick to economic issues, because the Prime Minister always talks of bridges and roads and things of that sort. But how come Bihar is still at the bottom of the heap after 20 years? Number one, why no special package for Bihar, despite the fact that since the time the state was created, that was the popular demand across the country? All these issues the voter would be talking about. And the Congress should be, basically making its agenda on those popular issues. I'm not saying SIR is not an important issue, but technically the battle of SIR is won. Rahul Gandhi actually devastated the election commission, and the Supreme Court helped him. So the election commission has taken a back step. So it is important right now to intervene and come out with issues like why Mithilanchal is the poorest zone in the world, why Simanchal has such high density of population, and no sort of special package that would help the Mahagathbandhan much more, and 20 years of
Well, the NDA is looking at issues like that. They are talking of why Simanchal has a burgeoning population which is far more than the rest of Bihar, but they're using it into the other context of Guspetiye. But that is just one of the angles of it all. But Siddharth Yadav, 2 minutes to you to make your final concluding statement.
Preeti, I think when we speak of Simanchal and when we speak of such alarming issues, that is also one context that everybody should speak about. I do not understand that why opposition parties or certain factions in our country would want to keep shut on that. If one certain region has 125% of Aadhaar cards than the population of that region, and it is facing migration, illegal immigration, it is facing Guspetiya, why not speak about it? Why does your vote bank politics bother you so much that you can't even speak the facts, the truth? This is not a data which is being made up. It's a fact. That's my point number one. Point number two, we are one party, we are one alliance which has proven to this country that there can be something as a pro-incumbency. We have proved it in Gujarat, we have proved it in Madhya Pradesh, we have proved it in Haryana, we have proved it in different parts of the country. We deliver to people, we deliver to people's aspirations, we work on people's aspirations, and that is why people elect us again and again. In the past 10-12 years, Congress party has not been re-elected to a state where they already were in government. No state in the country. If they form a government in 5 years, they'll do so much corruption, they'll do so much mishappenings that the people will not want to see them again in the next election. So this is the basic difference between the Congress party, the India Alliance, and the NDA. When it comes down to the SIR, they were wishing, they went to the Supreme Court, they wanted it halted, they wanted to make it called unconstitutional, they wanted the Supreme Court to say, do not do this exercise. The Supreme Court did not do anything. Rather, Supreme Court today said that I am shocked that why no political party is coming up with the objections. Can we imagine the Congress party spokesperson sitting here? There are 17,000 BLAs in Bihar. 17,000 BLAs. They have not made a single complaint of what voter should be added. But Rahul Gandhi has all the information, Mahimaji has all the information, everybody has information. Today the Supreme Court has said, implead the political parties. Ask them to join this case. Ask them to participate in this democratic process. Ask them to give suggestions. And that is how a democracy should work. But this is a different case for Rahul Gandhi.
Final 2 minutes, Mahima Singh. Go ahead.
First of all, I wish to remind, because the point was raised by the fellow panelist, before the BJP spokesperson spoke, that Rahul Gandhi is focusing on the SIR issue, although he tried to balance out his stance. But I would just say here, Preeti, that Shri Rahul Gandhi is honorable leader of opposition in the parliament, in the lower house of the parliament, Lok Sabha. So he represents 63% of the voters of this country. So please understand that he cannot just focus upon one issue, some issues. You are saying that why is he focusing only on Bihar right now, or on Karnataka rather, he said, pardon me, he said Mahadevpura, he tried to focus on Karnataka. So when he's talking about SIR and vote chori, he will talk about Maharashtra, he will talk about Haryana, he will talk about Bihar, which is what he's doing right now. And as far as Mr. Narendra Modi's stance and his rally today is concerned, I just wish to play out this few seconds of a clip that all of you must listen to.
Ma'am, we can't hear whatever you're trying to play. You can use this.
This is a voter. This is a voter of Bihar who was brought to the Gaya rally today, and he's trying to tell us, it is on the another media platform. He's trying to tell us that they have been brought by the college, and that is how the rallies are being filled in Bihar for Mr. Modi. While what you see on the roads during the yatra, what is happening right now, Preeti, is organic crowds coming out, interacting with Sri Rahul Gandhi. I have come across several videos where voters of BJP are coming out and are saying that, we are voters of the BJP, but our problems remain unsolved. And they're talking freely with Sri Rahul Gandhi. And that is what he talks about, that in democracy, we need to speak freely. We need to bring out our problems. What we have seen in BJP ruled states is suppression, is unemployment, is inflation, and especially Bihar, we have seen migrant laborers being
All right.
mistreated.
Ma'am, I just, your time is up. But the only thing I'd like to add is when you put forth videos such as that, with one odd person coming in from some village saying one odd thing on a mic, it cuts both ways.
Right.
Remember that. Because there will be enough documented evidence and people to suggest otherwise for your own leader. So it's best not to indulge in any of it, but I'm going to just leave it at that, ma'am. We're going to leave it at that because it's going to be a long haul, and we're going to have you back again, all of you, on our show to discuss and debate with what is going on in Bihar. Today, viewers, if there was one poll plank or one narrative that echoed through Bihar, that was Ghuspaitiye and Vote Adhikar. Welcome back. News break coming in right now. Federal agents have searched the residence of former Trump National Security Advisor when Trump was in his first term, John Bolton. It happened this morning. The FBI was at John Bolton's doorstep. Sources tell us familiar with the matter that say that the search carried out by the FBI is related to allegations that Bolton is in possession of classified records. Remember, Bolton has been making rounds on Indian television news channels criticizing Donald Trump for his tariff policies against India. All right, we're going to cut across to my colleague Geeta, our external affairs editor, who's getting us the latest on this FBI raid at John Bolton's residence. But viewers, when we say that he's been making the round of Indian televisions, just 2 days ago he was on my show where he openly criticized Donald Trump, number one, suggesting that the tariffs practically calling them sanctions were slapped on India for no reason, and number two, that all that Donald Trump seemingly is doing is trying to get himself a Nobel Prize. Listen in. Now, experts seem to suggest that US President's tariff, along with perceptions of a very diminished American role in the Indo-Pacific partnerships, have accelerated efforts to stabilize an India-China relation. In the past, and you'd know that Washington has actively encouraged India to counterbalance Beijing in the region. Now, how do you view the recent thaw in India-China ties? Of course, we are coming off Operation Sindoor, where we actually thought we fought a proxy battle with China and not Pakistan.
Yeah, look, I think the reaction in India to grow closer to China and Russia is very unfortunate, and that's why this question of the sanctions against India alone, not Russia, not China, not others, pose more problems than they solve. I think you have to look at the long term here, and that is that China is the principal threat in both East and South Asia, and its increasing axis with Russia puts Russia increasingly on China's side. I think that's the strategic future, and I think that's what India should be focused on.
But the hypocrisy of America has put India in a situation where, China continues to buy oil from Russia, but we face tariffs in the form of sanctions. The question I'd like to ask you is, Ambassador, with Trump now imposing sanctions, we'll call it steep tariffs on India, the US-India relation is practically at an all-time low. You previously had called 50% tariff against India a mistake in the bilateral relationship. Can there be a reset in India-US ties?
Well, I think this is a Trump mistake. It's shooting ourselves in the foot, and I think that has to be taken into account. This was no decision endorsed by the U.S. Congress or overwhelmingly by the people. This is part of Trump's effort to win the Nobel Peace Prize, and it's I understand the reaction in India. I do, but again, I think you have to grit your teeth and look longer term here at what I think is the best interest of both countries in the future, to have a closer relationship, to worry about the threat that China poses.
All right, our MEA correspondent editor Geeta Mohan is joining us live with the very latest on the developments that have taken place. Geeta, one thing has been very clear that Trump has openly criticized Mr. Bolton many a times on the social media platform X. But today, the FBI coming calling on his doorstep. What more can you add?
Well, Preeti, it is a very significant move because this is the former national security advisor to Trump who now faces raids at his residence in Maryland. The reason that's been given is that it's a court-authorized search. That's what the investigators had said. And what they're investigating is a search for classified documents and records. Remember, there are a lot of stories that have done the rounds which were because of classified information and documents. A lot that Bolton spoke about with the press and reporters. That certainly has not gone down well with the Trump administration, and therefore this raid and search in Bolton's house, like Kash Patel, the CI director, said that nobody is above law, and we'll have to wait and see how this really pans out for John Bolton, a very, very senior official in the past, and somebody who knows a lot when it comes to how the Trump administration really worked and whether if they actually find something in his residence or not. For now, we don't have details on whether anything was found. There are no details on whether if Bolton was at his residence because just half an hour through that raid, he was tweeting about Russia, Ukraine and Trump's Nobel Peace Prize ambitions or aspirations. But there was certainly somebody at his residence, in all probability his wife.
All right, Geeta, appreciate you joining us for that quick update. We're going to keep a keen eye on developments there. Meanwhile, I'm going to shift focus back to India and over to Karnataka. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister stoked a controversy after he sang the RSS anthem in the State Assembly. The footage has surprised many, given Congress' long-standing ideological opposition to the RSS. Take a look.
Namaste Sada Vatsale Matrabhumi Jaya Hindu Bhumi Sugam Varditoham.
It is a rarest of the rare sight. A senior Congress leader singing the RSS anthem during a debate on Bengaluru stampede in the Karnataka Assembly session. When Leader of Opposition R. Ashok reminded D.K. Shivakumar of his past remarks about wearing the RSS uniform, this was how he responded.
Namaste Sada Vatsale Matrabhumi Jaya Hindu Bhumi Sugam Varditoham.
After his singing of the RSS anthem sparked criticism, Shivakumar issued a clarification reiterating he was a born congressman.
Direct indicating, no joining hands, nothing. I am a congressman. I will lead the Congress by pillar, by birth, by life.
The Congress rallied behind Shivakumar.
सब भाषा सभी समस्या सीखना बहुत जरूरी है गाना तो गाया होगा उसका स्लोगन तो किया होगा इसका मतलब ये नहीं हम उस पार है इस पार से वो गाना गाया है मतलब हम इधर रहेंगे जो भी गाया है इधर ही रहेंगे.
Meanwhile, the BJP is leaving no stone unturned to corner the Congress over their stand on the RSS.
It shows RSS is a good, RSS philosophy is good. So, but once in Delhi, Rahul Gandhi says RSS is now bad. His aim is bad. But here, this Congress party president says RSS good.
With speculation rife over the rift between Shivakumar and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, is the Deputy Chief Minister sending out a veiled message? Is the Congress looking at an implosion in the southern state? Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, maybe not an implosion, but was there some kind of subtle messaging there? Let's take that question to our panelist, Sandeep Shastri, political analyst, Prasant GS, spokesperson, BJP Karnataka, Deepak Thimaiya, national spokesperson, Congress. I'd like to begin with you, Mr. Shastri. What do you make of D.K. Shivkumar singing the RSS anthem in assembly? Would you reckon it was subtle messaging, not just to the BJP or the RSS or to the assembly, but to the high command back here in Delhi?
Preeti, let's remember Shiv Kumar is a seasoned and consummate politician. I would want everyone to look at that particular clipping of him reciting that. There was a expression on his face which was an expression which was more with a smile on the lips, saying, "Now let me see how you people will respond to this." And let's also remember in the past on matters relating to religion and religiosity, Shiv Kumar has taken a stand very different from the party, be it on the Jaggi Vasudev question, be it on the Ram temple inauguration. When the
The
Ram
Kumbh
temple,
as well.
he said we are all Hindus. So I think he has. There is nothing exceptional in terms of what he did today. He has just stirred the hornet's nest, and yes, of course, he has allowed for a lot of speculation and given opportunity for such a program to be held. But I think it is basically a consummate politician taking the battle to the opposition court, and as I said, the smile on his lips as he said that says it all for me.
Deepak Timaya, the fact is this definitely, while he got it down pat in terms of the RSS anthem, that's definitely not music to the Congress's ears, something that your own leader, Rahul Gandhi, has openly, vocally criticized many a times over, which is the RSS ideology.
It is almost like saying that even if a congressman mentions the word or the name RSS, he or she is committing some kind of a travesty, because he just sang the song. He didn't say that he believes in the song, or he loves the song, or that he promotes the song. He just wanted to give out a message saying that, look, I know RSS so well. That's all it is. And what you also was trying to say is that so many of you in BJP don't even know RSS as much as I do. In the sense, if I comment about RSS, I know RSS. That's what he was trying to say. And I think instead of seeing that, to see that maybe he's trying to get into RSS, come out of RSS, align with RSS and so on, looks a little naive, according to me.
But you think, but how is that naive, Deepak Timaya? Because, you know, this is something which at least Rahul Gandhi doesn't take lightly. Every opportunity that Rahul Gandhi gets, he draws that ideological line between the RSS ideology and the Congress ideology. To have a deputy chief minister of a state run by Congress recite the RSS anthem is problematic, where at least the Congress ideology is concerned. Wouldn't you think so?
See, I know the Star Spangled Banner, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to the US or I align with the US. And I may not even have a view that is in alignment with the US. So just because, I say that I know your song to an American, or I know your national anthem, doesn't mean that, I'm going to be, running out of this country and becoming part of theirs. But let me tell you, it is very simple. He just sang the song. He has done it even once before. And just because he has learned it, perhaps somewhere else. And no, there was no rule about, you could have not learned the song, because he must have just, heard it and must have just got it. And he just sang it, saying that, this is, do you know which song this is, kind of a thing. That's all it is. But to be able to see more than this is, let me tell you, this is also a message to a lot of people to say that, the Congress party or Mr. Rahul Gandhi will never stop a congressman from being a Hindu, let me tell you. But doesn't necessarily mean that a Congress Hindu person should actually become RSS or BJP to prove his Hinduism, or prove his Hindu credentials. So he was just perhaps he has already explained it. And let me tell you one thing about Mr. D.K. Shivkumar. Mr. D.K. Shivkumar is not in the habit of, like altering, saying that his words were tampered with and he sang something else and it was heard like something else and, it was misinterpreted and things like that. This is one man, he says something and he says, yes, I said it. So I think we need to respect a man like him. He said it and now he's saying that, yes, I said it. That's what it is. He doesn't say that I said it because of this, I said it because of that. He just sang the song. That is all it is. I'm sure tomorrow congressman can also, sing a BJP person can also sing a Congress song, and that won't perhaps mean that
Well,
he
that
will
sight
join the
is
party.
not accorded very often. But Prashant GS, there is an old saying, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. And that is exactly what DK Shivkumar intended, is what at least he says when he got out of the assembly, saying that it's an organization that is making inroads clearly in Karnataka, has made inroads. So therefore, I really want to know how they work. I have studied the RSS.
Preeti, it's not about you labeling RSS as anybody's enemy. RSS is an organization which is working for the nation, and
No, sir, I'm not
it's
labeling.
a
Just,
selfless
I'm going to put
organization.
it
So
on
therefore,
record. I'm not labeling the RSS as somebody's enemy. The Congress has clearly drawn that ideological line of RSS being the enemy.
Rahul Gandhi, time and again, has made these allegations, whereas even Congress leaders are aware of the social work and the pride that RSS has for the country, and which have demonstrated time and again. You name a natural calamity that has hit the country, and RSS Swayamsevaks are the first ones who are out on the streets helping people. So there are no two things about it. So I am not even wanting to make a comment about why Shiv Kumar said it or where did he hear it. It's fine. If he has attended Shaka in his childhood and has learnt it, good. He has learnt salutations to the motherland and paying respects to the country. There's no harm in it. So, like most congressmen are dismissing it, saying you shouldn't have done it. No, we are not saying that. But look at his statement also after that. He also said that RS has been doing good work. They're running a lot of education institutions, which means the good work of RSS has been recognized. There is no two things as to why we should do politics over this. If Congress is having a different, Congress leaders have a different feeling about it, or why he has said it, it's up to Congress to decide. But in so far as we are concerned, he has made a comment that RSS is a social organization having education institutions and making deep inroads. Fine, which means it's a organization which has completed 100 years of existence and going strong, which is what PM Modi ji also mentioned in the Independence Day speech, saying that it's the world's largest NGO. So therefore, I don't think you should give any other color to that or political undertone to that, saying that he's switching sides. We are not even on that speculation, or we are not even taking
nobody's
a speculative
speculating that. Nobody's speculating that. But
Exactly.
wouldn't you reckon, Mr. Prashant GS, that it is there is a possibility of embarrassing the Congress in this? So that is political.
See, Congress time and again has insulted a lot of times the Hindu beliefs.
Okay.
Wherein, when Shiv Kumar was a party to it, when he attended Mahashivratri function, he was called up and hauled up saying, why did he have to attend it? Which means Congress does not believe in its leaders attending functions also. He had to respond back saying that he attended there as a guest and he took part in Mahashivratri celebrations. And when he proudly attended Kumbh Mela and took the holy dip there, again he was trolled by congressmen saying that why should he go to Kumbh
final
Mela?
comment. So
That
you
should
would
not have been
think
done.
much ado about absolutely nothing? Or do you think there is something to read into it?
No, I don't think it's much ado about nothing. I think Shiv Kumar has very carefully calibrated this, and it could be sending multiple messages that saying such things is not the monopoly only of the BJP and RSS leaders. We also know these lines very well. And I said, I'll still go back to the smile which was on his lips as he recited it, because he was looking across the floor at the BJP opposition and looking at their reactions to what he is saying. It's now coming on your screen also. Now, that very clearly for me indicates that he was saying this as a clear political message also at this point of time.
All right, I appreciate all three of you gentlemen for joining us. Thank you there. We, of course, will be following the story very closely. For now, it's been laid to bed by no one else but the Deputy Chief Minister himself, who says that I study all kinds of organizations, including the RSS. With that, I want to go into a quick break. Stay with me. On the other side is my colleague, Gaurav Sawant.